All right, guys, so this is probably one of the most bizarre stories and a twist of fate that I've ever seen in my life, to be quite honest with you. And it is one of the reasons why, I am a very superstitious person, and I'm very, very careful about the type of energy that I put out there in the world for this very reason, this story that we're going to talk about that involves Miss Marcia Chance, right, who is a mother whom unfortunately and tragically was stabbed to death by her son on Thanksgiving. Now, what's gonna be bizarre here is the circumstances in which this happened after she levied some criticism regarding a case that we're all familiar with beforehand that really, in my opinion, kind of freaks me out. So before I get too much into this, let's go ahead and roll the news clip so that you guys get a better understanding of the situation. Take a look.
A young man is accused of stabbing his mother to death. It happened on Misty Valley Court in Lawrenceville. Right now, Varian Hibbert is behind bars. Fox 5's Christopher King is at the scene with the latest.
This is normally a day families get together and give thanks, but this Thanksgiving, a young man is accused of stabbing his own mother to death right behind these doors.
I was really shocked by that.
Cameron Boyd never imagined something so horrific would happen right across the street from where he lives.
I didn't think he was really capable of doing something like that.
A young man, his neighbor, is accused of stabbing his own mother to death.
Like, it's your mom, and it's on Thanksgiving. Like, that's the crazier part.
It happened around noon. Police say Varian Hibbert attacked his mother at their home on Misty Valley Court. Another family member inside the home, a boy, called 911.
That is devastating.
Henriette Robinson can't believe it.
Never thought that, it'd come to this.
Hibbert was arrested at least twice last August on several charges, including false imprisonment, assault, and obstructing officers. Robinson says there were warning signs.
He'd come outside, be talking to himself. We even caught him on, our camera trying to come in our door.
And now a neighborhood is left to mourn on a day when so many others give thanks.
It's really disturbing. I mean, I feel for this mother.
Hibbert is charged with numerous counts, including murder and aggravated assault. In Lawrenceville, Christopher King, Fox 5 News.
The teen who police say stabbed his mother on Thanksgiving had his first court appearance today, facing multiple charges in the case. Tonight, 11 Alive's Karis Belger shares more about his mother, Marcia Chance, from a friend who describes her as an absolute joy.
It was a holiday that quickly turned. Police say 42-year-old Marcia Chance was stabbed multiple times by her son on Thanksgiving Day. She died from her injuries. Her friend Natalie Norris says Chance was one of the sweetest people you'll ever meet.
She's a mom's mom. So this for me is really hard to even imagine that it even happened in the first place.
But what's more heartbreaking, she says, are the circumstances. Norris explains Marcia Chance poured all she could into her children.
Beautiful soul, in and out. That, to me, is one of the most important things.
Chance's son had his first court appearance Saturday morning. After speaking with him, the judge appointed him a lawyer. He's facing charges of felony murder, aggravated assault, and a felony weapons charge. A motive for the stabbing has not been determined, but police did say they'd been called to the home before. It was Chance's younger son who called the police, and investigators are still trying to determine what happened.
All right, guys. So as you can see from those couple of news clips there, this is a tragic story, right? Anytime, a son or a kid kills their own parents, like, that's crazy, right? It's crazy. But as you can see, this was a household that seemed to be in disarray, okay? As the son had, run-ins with the neighbors, right? He had run-ins with the police. He had all types of things going on, okay? Now, this is where it gets freaky and kind of ironic, as Miss Marcy, just a few days ago, right before Thanksgiving, when this unfortunate incident happened, was on Facebook criticizing the parents of Kyle Rittenhouse. Okay, so let's actually read this. Quote, as the real judgment day awaits, but hey, I'm not God. There's a bigger judge for everyone and everything in the universe. Okay, so right up front here, I mean, she's invoking God into this, right? Trying to imply that Kyle Rittenhouse is guilty. Okay, even after the verdict shows he's not guilty. And I think that anybody who actually really understands the story, understands what happened, knows that it was self-defense, right? And even if you're on the fence about it, I don't understand how you can have such strong reactions to an incident like this, considering the background of the people that were unfortunately shot and killed by Kyle Rittenhouse and what he says was self-defense. Okay? So, hey, I mean, to me, she's kind of, letting everybody know where she stands on this. Being a judge, lawyer, even a juror, etc., must be one of the toughest parts of the judicial system, or maybe the parental system. Where did he get the damn weapons from? Question mark. 17 years old. The parent/parent, bad influence. Shaking my effing head. Wow. I mean, you honestly could not write a more ironic storyline here. And again, I just trying to tread lightly on this topic because I really, don't like talking about, deceased people, right? In certain ways. But this right here, I mean, it is, like I say, it's crazy to think about. Just a few days prior to being stabbed to death by her own son, she was criticizing Kyle Rittenhouse's parents, right, for their bad, I guess, influence on him, right, and questioning where did he get the weapons from. But at the same time, while she's doing this, her own son, had a history of run-ins, not just with the cops, but with the neighbors as well. So you're criticizing Kyle Rittenhouse's parents, whom, you're trying to say, I guess, was doing bad parenting or bad influence, but your child is not necessarily an angel, right? And Kyle Rittenhouse, again, was acting in self-defense. That's his only crime, right? Crime. Not really a crime, but I'm just saying. Your son had a history of being a negative contributor to society. This is why you kind of be careful about the type of energy that you put out there in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like this type of stuff right here is like, it just makes you think. It makes you think. It's like the media had her worried about the wrong son. Okay? She should have been worried about her own son and what he was doing and what he was up to. Now, does that necessarily mean that she was a bad parent? No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. But, in a certain situation like this, I mean, he could have been crazy. He could have been, mentally ill or whatever. That's a possibility. I mean, I tend to lean towards more than likely there was probably some parenting issues rather than mental illness. In a situation like this, in a lot of situations, the first question you ask yourself, where was the father, right? Where was the man of the house? Because if she had a man in the house, it would be hard to believe that something like this would happen, right? But in a situation like this, it doesn't seem like she had a man in the house or that there was a father figure around, okay? So, again, I just find the irony here to be unbelievable considering the circumstances. And this isn't the first time that I've seen people criticize Kyle Rittenhouse's parents, specifically his mother, right? They criticized her because there was a picture that was posted on the internet of Kyle drinking beer underage, and he was with his mother, and I guess they're at a bar or whatever, and they're just drinking beer, right? Like, as if kids don't drink beer with their parents. And, if they do, regardless of what the law says, I mean, that's between them, right? That's between them, okay? But there has been criticism of Kyle Rittenhouse's parents for stuff like that. And, for him going there, they tried to say that she drove him to Kenosha and, try to imply that she was involved in the incident and all that, all types of fake narratives that are being pushed to try to smear her as a bad parent, right? That basically allow what happened in Kenosha to happen, right? All things that they really don't have any evidence to prove and to back up. And to me, you know, it's sad when you see somebody buy into this mainstream liberal narrative and, you know, post something like this, and then this turns around and happens like literally right after it. She posts criticism of Kyle Rittenhouse parents. She ends up getting stabbed by her own son, right? You know, a son whom has had a history of criminal behavior. But, you know, again, this is why you got to be careful that, you know, if you got skeletons in your own closet, you probably shouldn't be trying to call out other people's skeletons when you have some of those same issues going on in your household that you're trying to accuse other people of having. But, you know, regardless, it's tragic either way. And I feel really bad for her. I'm pretty sure she tried to be the best mother that she could. And, you know, again, it's unfortunate something like this happens. And, you know, rest in peace to her. Again, I just find this situation to be just almost just unbelievable, right? Just unbelievable. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.